What up traders, what up investors? We are going to be looking at the Purple Rain, aka Purple Mattress. This is kind of funny, it's kind of ironic. So within the options Reddit subreddit, we saw someone posting about Purple, which is the ticker symbol PRPL, has blown past its consensus price target, which again, we don't really care about because the analysts have a certain model and those models always break and blah, blah, blah. Those are only predictions. We don't work on predictions, we just look on price action. Anyways, in the most bullish current analyst price target is $30. Again, $30. And he also comments in the subtext is, give me a good reason not to short it aside from it being a meme / FOMO stock. Of course, you see, then you go through the comments on someone saying, I can confirm, do not try to fight the trend, and I lost 70% of my investment. 70%, that's huge. That being said, 2 hours after this overall post was created, 2 hours later, bada bing, bada boom, it made its way to Wall Street Bets, and we got the purple gains here, basically from Tame the Ruckus, posting a pretty tremendous gain, buying the 25 and the 2250 calls, making a total gain about 438% in a very short period of time. A total amount of contracts saying 74 here. Pretty fantastic gains here. We'll go analyze this, see how this overall plays out, but this is a really much a FOMO trade. So if you don't understand what the picture is looking at, this is actually Dave Chappelle dressed up as Prince. That part of a skit within the Chappelle Show where they talked about him and Charlie Murphy going over to play basketball with Prince, and then after the basketball game they had pancakes and they called it Purple Rain, and just kind of a funny meme, of course, because again, it's a meme, it's Wall Street Bets, people have fun, purple gains, let's go. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll jump to the charts and we'll kind of figure out what could be next coming up for this one. Alright traders, let's go ahead and jump into the charts here via Thinkorswim. Again, this is the Purple Mattress Company, ticker symbol PRPL. As you can see here, it has moved quite significantly just in the last couple months. Ever since the kind of the bottom over the pandemic and virus, made like a double bottom here, basically around $5, and literally have just ridden up between the 21 EMA, which is that yellow line, continue going higher, really printing substantial gains here, going all the way up to $27. Again, going through a lot of past the analyst predictions and everything like that. That individual that we looked here within Wall Street Bets bought the 25 and 2250 calls. So again, for August, again, there's not many options out there. We're seeing a lot of activity exactly around those two time frames here. Again, open interest on those 25 calls are well over 14,000 contracts. So that's a pretty substantial amount of positioning there. And again, this could be continue going higher. Again, we'll be looking at some potential price targets here, but again, options markets limiting up to 35, so we could see some higher prices coming through the markets here. So we'll see how that overall plays out. Let's go ahead and jump back to the chart here. So we did have Fibonacci retracements from the previous swing high to low, and we can kind of see here that it hit some issues here at the 1272. This was basically the opportunity to get into the trade here. I'm not exactly sure when that individual within Wall Street Bets got into it, but you can kind of see here the pounding between that $19 price target, really just trying to knock the door down, trying to get that price movement higher. Finally hit the squeeze here. We saw a huge volume candle come in, basically clarifying there could be a large movement ahead. Again, large movement, didn't gap up, was still getting that energy. Again, imagine two rubber bands twining against each other, and of course it's going to snap. Basically, like when you put a bunch of rubber bands around a watermelon, that watermelon's it's going to break at a certain point in time, and then that's basically what happened with the squeeze does, and it just continued bursting out, really not even giving a rat's you know what about the 1618 percentile move, which is around the $23 price target. Just cut through like a hot knife through butter, and looking for potential overhead. Again, overhead, these are just guidelines, these are not predictions. This is just looking at volume and looking at Fibonacci retracements and with moving averages. So looking here for potential overhead resistance around $34, $35. I know that's quite far high up there, but anything can happen in the market. That this stock can easily come back down to $5. Who knows? When their earnings comes out in the looks like August 13th, they could say, oh, there's actually mold is actually our secret ingredient to help the pillows make extra soft, and they're like, whoops, that was a mistake, and whatever reason that could easily bring the stock right back down to where it was. That being said, this thing is clearly a FOMO trade, like we stated multiple times. It's really just running up on those fear of missing out folks. People really just pushing this higher. We are seeing some volume coming here, but not as significant as we saw previous times. So those previous times were pretty substantial the last couple times. The thing is, I want to kind of point out is that looking here on a larger time frame on the weekly side, we are seeing the Chaikin money flow. So the Chaikin money flow is basically something that tracks some larger investors, institutional funds that are really buying into this. On the weekly side, we are just hitting the top band of the RSI, which is, again, kind of the first sign of potential slowdown, potentially kind of pumping the brakes here. Again, we've had a huge run, potentially going to be taking a break like we talk about, get that water, get that granola bar, and then continue to climb, or we can come back down, or just straight sideways. We just want to take a nap. That being said, we're seeing that Chaikin money flow pretty highly elevated. We've seen that previously before, kind of basically back in the February time frame, right after Valentine's Day. We had that same kind of pattern kind of come up here. RSI overextended, and then the Chaikin money flow at a very high number as well, and that kind of was the tippy top again. It's so difficult to call a top. I'm not going to call a top here as of right now, but this thing has still some room to run if it wants to. Again, it's a FOMO trade. You just have to be very careful. If you're not in it, I'm sorry, you really kind of missed it. There could be maybe some day trades in here, which that's not my wheelhouse. But this thing has already run. I've missed the bus. I apologize. But that being said, this thing, again, will be a fun one to watch, again, especially with earnings on the horizon, to see how it plays out. Potentially, again, overhead resistance here, key takeaways around $34, $35. To the downside, it's going to be kind of coming into potentially the parabolic SAR here. So we're going to be looking for around 2150 for some potential downside support, because again, it didn't give too much respect to the $23.09 or the 618 percentile move. It just kind of cut through it. So potentially, if it didn't give it respect on the way into the door, it might not give it respect on the way out. So that's why I'm just being a little bit mindful on this one. Again, so many stocks have been running. This particular trade is, you can see in the marketplace quite often here. I don't know why it keeps on doing that. Basically looking here again. Anyone can draw the fibs. Anyone can look at the lines. We're just see that again. The key takeaways. We saw a lot of momentum here. We saw a lot of pressure just trying to break out, We talk about it always wants to build a base. It wants to kind of gain momentum. It, again, had a huge move higher, really just took a break, gained that momentum, built up that stuff, putting those rubber bands around the watermelon, and then boom, pop. It popped higher, and it's now just really running off to the races. It's very difficult to kind of catch this to the upside. Again, this is a really high flying ball, and potentially could take a little bit for it to come down. Again, anything can happen in the market. Be super mindful of that. And you can see here on even some of the other options activity that we're seeing here, going way far out, is there's a lot of people are just kind of getting out of it and selling it to the short term. And really folks are just getting out of it. Potentially, there is some volume increasing in September, but again, that could be completely FOMO. But a lot of the options volume is around earnings, especially the $25, $30 price target into earnings, to see on how that overall plays out. Again, guys, hopefully you learned something from this today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're interested on taking your, maybe learning some stuff more and looking at some other aspects of trading, and maybe you're kind of new to it, you can join the join tab down below within the YouTube membership. And I plan to do like a bi-weekly stream for new folks or advanced folks to kind of maybe look at different charts, kind of go into further explanations of how I chart, how I do the technical analysis, and things like that. So hopefully that is something that you can consider. I greatly would appreciate that. And if you're interested on joining the Discord, that is also down below. Again, guys, stay safe, be cool. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.